Give me the Dragon Balls.
What is that?
Frieza is kind of a savage. Over this past weekend, I got the opportunity to play the second closed beta of Bandai's Dragon Ball The Breakers. Shout out to them for making sure my squad and I got codes to run together, because this game is a lot more fun to play with friends than it is to play with randoms. If you can read, you already know that this video is about a new raider that was added to this beta test that wasn't in the first one, and if you can't read, don't worry, I got you. Today I'm going to be giving you all my honest opinion of Frieza after playing him a lot in the closed beta. I reached about level 20 or so as a raider and as a survivor in the closed beta session, so I think that my takes will be pretty valid. Remember though, if you think that I'm an idiot and have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, you can let me know in the comment section of this video, Twitter, or wherever else you would like to ruin my day at. Just make sure to leave a follow if you travel to those territories. However, if there are any of you who appreciate my takes, I greatly appreciate it if you leave a like on this video. You can also subscribe and turn on notifications if you would like. Enough about me though, let's talk about Frieza. Frieza has a lot going for him. It's pretty nerve-wracking when you play against Frieza because you aren't just trying to avoid his eye, but also Zarbon and Dodoria's. Frieza's able to send them out separately to scout and attack any survivors they come across. Now they may seem to not be but so problematic by themselves, considering they can only do one attack per deployment, I'm pretty sure, but the scary thing is that Frieza is alerted the second they find somebody. Frieza can use them in every single form he's in, including the first form he spawns in. Speaking of which, his first form is a lot more lethal than Cell's. Unlike Cell, who cannot fly nor do a range attack, Frieza can fly at high speeds and do range attacks. Now that may seem unfair to many, but it does take longer for Frieza to transform into his next form than it does take Cell. I guess that's their way of trying to balance him out. In Frieza's first form, he also has a Death Slash, Supernova, and a Scouter that he can use to find civilians and survivors. However, he does substitute his Scouter out for an evasive after transforming. At first, I thought it to be difficult to find survivors because of this, but Zarbon and Dodoria's scouting is actually really good. I didn't have much of an issue finding survivors after I got into the habit of using them more often and actually putting them in good situations that they can do well in. In his second form, Frieza has full power energy wave and sonic bomb. I honestly found this form of Frieza to be the easiest to use, but that may just be me. If you get to his third form, he'll now have Death Beam and Crazy Finger Shot to replace his previous moves. Now I should mention that in his second and third form, his normal range attack can be fired rapidly in succession, meaning that you can literally just spam someone to death when you're far away from them. This applies to his final form as well, however he changes from beam attacks to death saucers. It could just be me, but it does seem like the death saucers aren't as fast as his beams. However, they do seem to track better. In his fourth form, he can also use Death Wave and Death Ball. Death Ball being Frieza's form of an AoE attack that all raiders can use in their final form. And now that you understand how Frieza works, now I can tell you how I played him. So when picking Frieza as the raider, Namekians will spawn in with Dragon Balls in their possession. This is a dope reference, of course, but this also means that Frieza has a way of tracking down the Dragon Balls in his first phase without even obtaining a Dragon Radar or going through a bunch of crates. Now, not every Namekian will have a Dragon Ball, but I often would just scout around for a Dragon Ball before going into my second phase, and it didn't take long for me to do it at all. I'm not gonna say it was 50-50, maybe once every 3 Namekians. Actually, sometimes it felt like it was literally every single Namekian. I don't know. It didn't take long at all for me to find the Dragon Balls in my first phase if I really wanted to. Or at least just to find one Dragon Ball, because that's all I needed. Now, some of you may question why I literally was just looking for one Dragon Ball, and the reason for this is because the survivors are going to try to collect the Dragon Balls. If I have one of them, they have to go through me in order to get all 7. I actually got into one situation where my friend had all of the Dragon Balls except for the ones that I had, and when he pulled up on me, he tried to see if he could knock them out of me, get all 7, and go get Shenron, but of course, I'm using Frieza, so I ended up knocking his Dragon Balls out of him after I killed him, and then I summoned Shenron and I was just unbeatable at that point. And I already spoke on the range attack spam that Frieza has, but I would like to bring it up again. His range attacks are really, and I mean truly, cracked out. Frieza can finish off people from a distance as well, so often I could just spam my beams to kill someone and finish them off without even having to catch up to them. I mean, he has so much in his kit to just kill you from a distance. He has Zarbon and Dodoria who can both do range attacks. He can spam key beams himself. Then on top of that, and see, this is why I said his second form is so nice, because when you use Sonic Bomb, that just blows up on the area that the opponent's at. Like, they don't even get an indication, it just blows up. Well, I think there are a few frames you can see before the area blows up, but the thing is, after you see that, you're basically already screwed. Now, I'm not one to really cry about nerfs when it comes to this game, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Frieza does get this aspect of him nerfed a bit. And if you've been paying attention to the gameplay, you've probably seen how good Zarbon and Dodoria are for yourselves as well. Oftentimes, I had no idea that someone was around until they alerted me. I would give them both Snitch of the Year awards if I really could. They're good for scouting, helping Frieza fight, and they can even camp an area when Frieza goes elsewhere. So in other words, they're literally just the most annoying pest in the whole game. But they're my annoying pests because I definitely enjoy using Frieza. I've even used them to camp bodies and scout at the same time. Like, do you guys understand how crazy that truly is? I have one of them over here camping a body, another one looking for people, and I'm just over here looking for people elsewhere, I guess, or fighting someone, I don't know. But I say all of that to say exactly what I said in the beginning. Frieza is kind of a savage. In fact, I've never lost with him. I do think myself to be a good raider, but I also do believe Frieza to have a little too much going for him. I realize he's the raider, and he should feel menacing to go against, but maybe not this much. Going against Cell is scary for other reasons, but he seems to be really well balanced for how this game actually works. In my opinion, slight tweaks could help balance Frieza more, maybe a longer cooldown on Zarbon and Dodoria, or a reduction in range attack distance or speed. Nothing too major needs to happen, but I could see some changes happening to the character before the full game releases in October, but that's just my opinion. I already know someone who was born without the get good gene is gonna cry about not being able to find people with Frieza in the comment section, but it is what it is. Hope you all are enjoying and looking forward to Dragon Ball The Breakers. I definitely am. I have a question for you guys though. Which ability do you think is the best to equip if you're playing as a survivor? Answer that for me in the comment section and you may be featured in a future video discussing it. But aside from that, I have nothing more to say. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm out.